It is Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Live from Tokyo, Japan, Carlos Whittaker, Sohaila Whittaker, and Heather Whittaker on the Human Hope Podcast. Here we go. Okay, familia. We are live in our Airbnb.
We are in Tokyo.
We are in Tokyo.
Japan.
We are in Japan.
A little jet lag.
A little jet lag. Absolutely.
A lot.
Yeah.
How are we doing, ladies?
Well, we had a wonderful day.
It was beautifully jam-packed.
Yeah.
And we were about 10 steps from our door.
Yes.
Yep.
And we were so looking forward to showering and climbing in bed and falling asleep when you informed us that we have a podcast.
I'm sorry.
We're doing a podcast.
I'm sorry. I told you we were doing a podcast.
At the very beginning of the day, like
at
8
8
a.m.
o'clock this morning.
Yeah,
I
I
was
did.
just remember.
And then you didn't say anything until we were walking in the door, stumbling.
So we are doing fantastic. We're just a little...
Yeah, well,
ready for bed.
First of all, you're not being watched on YouTube because you told me when I said, hey, I'm going to record video, you both looked at me like...
Are you videoing yourself right now?
No, I'm not even videoing me. I decided to not even...
Well,
That's all right.
let me paint a picture for
Okay,
everyone.
go ahead.
I took a shower, so I came out and my hair was like a disaster from the shower. And I walk out and Carlos goes, "We're going to be on the camera." And he looked at me and his face was like big old eyeballs. Like, oh, like yikes.
I made the face.
You did. You made the face. And so then.
Yeah. So we're not doing video.
No.
But I thought, what a great...
we are here.
We're here. We're in Tokyo. And just kind of to round out my last 3 podcasts of the year, it's just going to be me. And I thought, well, this one needed to be me and you two. This trip to Tokyo was actually Sohaila's 16th birthday trip.
True.
Sohaila.
Right.
And so tell us about these birthday trips that apparently we're supposed to give all of our kids when they turn 16.
Apparently. I didn't know it was going to happen. That's for sure.
But what was it?
Okay. Well, basically, when we were 16, my
How old
mom
are you
and
now?
dad, I'm 21. Yeah.
Yep.
My
A
mom
few
and
days
dad were like, so instead of us buying you a car, or like giving you money for a car, we're actually going to like take you anywhere you want in the world.
Yeah.
With like obviously reasonable prices, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I want to go to Tokyo. 16-year-old Sohaila decided that and has stuck with it. The only situation is that it's supposed to just be me and my parents.
Yes.
Not an additional person.
Right.
Because, they're not going to pay for that. And so I'm getting married, fun fact, in May.
Everybody on the podcast knows that you're getting married.
Yes, in May. That being said, I didn't think I was going to be able to go to Tokyo at all before I get married. And then I'm not going to just ditch Brady and be like, sorry, I'm going to go with my parents real fast, stay at home. So I kind of lost hope with the whole trip
We talk about that later. Yes. Yeah, sure.
And then, well, now, surprisingly, we're in Tokyo.
It really was out of the blue.
Very
about
out of the blue.
3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Carlos, what'd you say to me?
I said, hey, babe, in order to hit Diamond on Delta, because Diamond now has a threshold of dollars spent as opposed to just miles flown. And so now I have to spend dollars as well as miles. And I hadn't hit the dollar and I needed to spend like $2,300 or something like that. So what I was just going to do is I was going to have Whitney from Wisconsin just buy more expensive seats to my last 4 flights of the year. And that would get me there. And I told Heather that, and you said,
We're not wasting that money. So
Yeah, silly.
we bought tickets as well.
we did, to Tokyo. Yeah. Well, and you told me what, Heather?
Because you said, I don't want to go far. I just want to be someplace like, you were thinking probably
Literally.
like Mexico or I don't know.
Yeah. Guys, cover your faces. I'm taking a photo.
I did. And I knew that you didn't want to go to Europe, and I knew I could get you.
How could you not want to go to Europe?
No, I didn't say I didn't want to go to Europe.
Well, I think you were saying like you didn't want to travel far.
No,
like,
I
you weren't
didn't. I wanted to
thinking-
go to like Maine or something.
Yeah, and I knew that I could get
And
you
I'm in freaking Tokyo
in
right
Tokyo.
You are.
And so what did I say? I said, I know you don't want to travel far, but what about Tokyo?
And so here's the deal. I'll be honest with you. That's when the trip happened. So Heather was like, we haven't taken Sohaila on her 16th birthday trip.
That's true.
And then I thought, oh my gosh, okay, so it's Sohaila's kind of like last hurrah trip, just as a single person with us. Also, it's her birthday trip. Also, she's getting married.
Birthday.
Also, I love Japan. I love the flavors and everything over here.
So
The
here we
only
are.
thing, I'll be honest, is what?
Here we are.
Well, here we are. But the only thing is, I actually halfway still didn't want to come because we're without our two other kids. And it's the week before, like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right.
And so that was the only bummer. And so Sayana, wasn't too excited or fond of us leaving because she moved back home for Christmas break and we left. So if you want to know how close our family is, that's kind of what happens. We all went skiing and we went to Fresh Life Church in Montana, did the whole thing. And then we dropped the kids off at the airport. They flew to Nashville. We flew to Tokyo and here we are. So
That's a really long explanation.
well, it's fine. I mean, people want to know.
All right, here we are.
I mean,
guys.
even if they didn't want to know, then they've got it. So let's hop right into it. Sohaila, how are you feeling about the wedding?
Whoa, we're really jumping into
Yeah,
it,
let's go.
aren't we? Well, the wedding. I'm getting married. Sooner rather than later.
Okay, so hold on.
Yes.
Is it weird to you, like to think that? Like,
No, because I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Okay.
Like we've all kind of prepared for it for like a solid year. That I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready, more than ready. So it's not right like a oh my God, I'm getting married or I'm having a wedding. It's like, okay, I have to like figure this out in order to get this done. It's not necessarily like, oh my gosh, this is so surreal. But it's going. It's moving. It's not as fun as it sounds, but I also
oh wait,
feel
what does
like-
that? Wait, what does that mean? Unpack that for us.
Well, the thing is, throughout this process, me and Mom have realized that I'm more of a dreamer and not a planner.
Okay.
Therefore, when things, when you have to actually plan things to make the wedding happen,
Right.
that's not my forte. And
But give me an example. Give me an example of Sohaila dreaming versus realizing, oh, Sohaila planning.
well, there's this place we want to get married,
Okay.
and
In Wyoming,
in
Jackson.
Wyoming, and we need shuttles to get people to this place.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how expensive shuttles would be. I just thought, oh, this is where I want to get married. Great. People will show up and there. That's that. Not like, oh, we have to find a way to get people to
Because there's
this
only like
place.
5 parking
Yes,
spots
yes.
and there's more than 5 people coming.
Right. And then like another example is like finding my bridesmaid dresses. Like I would have thought that would have been a lot more easier than it is right now. Like I'm on Pinterest, like looking at all the cute dresses.
yeah.
But then when it comes to like buying them and finding them for my girls, that is another.
How does it work the same, Heather?
know.
Like when you had bridesmaids and Sohaila, like what's different?
No, because now everyone has like, you kind of pick, well, it's not always this way, but a lot of times like you pick your color palette, if you will,
Yes.
and then the dresses can all look
Also,
different. Ours were
really
like
have a color
exactly the same.
Yeah. What was that, Sohaila?
I don't have a color palette. And the thing is that I'm very like in my dreaming stages. Like I know what I want, but actually finding it is like where it's hard.
I need to let the podcast listeners know that I'm learning all this along with you. I don't know any of this stuff. Like I've actually not been, super involved in the.
Really?
When was it, babe?
You're
a
not
couple
involved
weeks ago.
in anything.
I know. When
It's
was it?
like
A couple
you're
weeks ago that I said I looked at you like,
Oh,
do you do you want me to be more involved in this?
And I'm like, no.
Because I remember
really
thinking
funny.
like, am I supposed to be more involved in this than
Am
I
I
am?
supposed to know these things?
Yeah. And I just don't know
funny,
anything.
Daddy.
So this is just as
Yeah.
beneficial for me as it
Yes.
is for all of the podcast
I
listeners.
will say that she is as far away from a bridezilla as it could be. Like, she literally
don't
does not
care.
care. She,
really
like, I know
don't.
what she wants, and
That is- guys,
So it's just
It is
easy.
a blessing upon blessings that I have Heather Whittaker as my mom, because she just knows what I want, and I just go, I don't really know, Mom. Like, what do you think? And she's like, I think you like this, and she's right every single time, and it's made
Really?
the process a lot more easier, if I'm being completely honest.
Hey, we don't want to be.
No, listen, I'm gonna put
Don't take pictures.
I'm taking photos of them right now. I'm going to put like little emojis over your heads just so that people see.
My
Okay, so wedding's going good. How tell me this. How involved is Brady in the wedding planning?
surprisingly, he's quite opinionated.
Really? Now, why is that surprising?
Because, it's
Maybe it's not surprising.
It's not really surprising.
If you know Brady.
Yeah, I actually like, you hear all the guys like, oh, I never did anything with the wedding planning. Like I
didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's so many men that don't really care what happens. They just care that, they're at the end of the aisle, the end.
Yeah.
But Brady, if you know him, he loves to plan. He loves to dream like me. And therefore, he has opinions about things I didn't think he would have opinions about. And so it's actually made it a little bit tricky at times, but it's also
been funny
great.
on my end too, because I've been like, oh, I need to ask Brady.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
And it's funny because it's like, I've actually enjoyed it so much more because he actually is involved. Like it makes it like a team thing. It's not just like the bride choosing things. Like having him be involved is actually super awesome on my behalf because I'm like, what do we actually want? We, not just me. It's
Right.
like it's our party. It's not just my party. It's his. And like, so that's been a really cool thing
Yeah.
to navigate. And also it's like obviously great learning how to make big decisions together, like for kind of the first time. And so that's also been a good learning curve for both of us. And yeah, he likes his thoughts and ideas, and I like it too.
Did you know that there's this kind of father of the bride rule that for every opinion that the groom has, his family has to pitch in 10% more of the wedding cost.
You might need to call Betsy.
Okay, so I'm going to call Betsy and Taylor and just let them know. Listen, you're paying for half the wedding.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. No, that's great. This week, Human Hope is partnering with a brand new partner, one that I'm really excited about because it's going to help my 50-year-old teeth. That's right. 50 years I've had these teeth. And for 50 years, I've been using kind of, whatever toothpaste is laying around. Not no mo. Can I tell you something? Did you know that you swallow 5 to 7% of your toothpaste every single time you brush your teeth? That's an entire blob of toothpaste every 7 days. Most commercial toothpastes are filled with harsh chemicals, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Not stuff you want to be putting in your mouth, let alone eating. That's why Bite makes dry toothpaste tablets made with clean ingredients that are sulfate-free, palm oil-free, and glycerin-free. Bite toothpaste bits are so convenient. You just pop a bit in your mouth, you chew it up, and you start brushing, and it will turn to paste just like you're used to, but with no plastic tube or messy paste. Listen, I've tried it a few times, and this stuff is like magic. Y'all need some Bite toothpaste. Also, Bite's sleek glass bottles and jars look amazing on your vanity and elevate that shelfie game. Get it? Shelfie, selfie. No hiding gooey plastic tubes here. So listen, Bite is offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to trybite.com/humanhope or use code humanhope at checkout to claim this deal. That's trybite.com/humanhope. Our next partner is Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating clean. Hey, listen, Human Hope Familia, let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients with nothing artificial. My family loves when we get our Green Chef boxes because Heather can just be like, you know what? I don't have to think too hard. I'm just going to make what's in the box. Nourish your body all holiday season long with flavorful meals made with clean ingredients. Choose from 80 weekly options that change every single week, featuring delicious, nutritionist-approved recipes. You don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets, check this out, a free session with our registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So you can sign up and start your journey towards better health today. Green Chef also helps you eat clean with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. So if you're paleo, keto, whatever it is, they've got protein-packed meals with 30 plus grams of protein. They also have smart meals under 650 calories. This is what I'm going to ask you to do. Go to greenchef.com/60humanhope and use code 60humanhope to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. That's greenchef.com/60humanhope and use code 60humanhope to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Okay, so wedding's good. Wedding's good.
Going.
Heather, we're switching to you here.
Okay, I'm ready.
You are not on Instagram.
I'm not.
Whit Farm has, like, my DMs
Yep.
have been, especially the last week, because you've been with me all week, so you've been on my stories. We miss Whit Farm. What's Whit Farm? Where's Whit Farm? I mean, someone even said, "Is Whit Farm okay?"
That's a great question.
So is Whit Farm okay?
I don't think Whit Farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not talking to Heather right now. I'm talking about Whit Farm. Is Whit Farm okay?
Heather is doing great.
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
No, we're talking about Whit Farm, Mama.
Oh, Whit Farm.
It's like Los Whit versus Carlos. You know.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. So I'm not doing it.
What does that
know what
mean,
she
though?
did?
What happened?
She
Tell me,
looked
Sohaila.
at us like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, whenever she stopped Instagramming, she said, you know what I'm kind of over right now? I'm kind of over Instagram, Whit Farm. I don't really want to do it anymore. I was like, Mom, you can't just stop.
Yes, I
You know what she
can.
did? She stopped.
She did.
Yeah. I'm trying to have the right words. I don't want to do it right now.
You don't have to have the right words.
Well, I just was trying to,
Yeah.
I'm just not interested in. I have a very full plate, and I don't need. I need to remove some things that are meaningless in my world right now. So that is not something that gives me life. It's not garden season either, and originally it honestly was just a journal, because I am visual, a journal, and reminding myself of what I planted and what worked for the garden and whatnot. Obviously it changed. Excuse me.
Oh man,
It's 9 o'clock at night.
This is
My
jet
bedtime.
lag. What time is it in Nashville?
I don't know.
6
In the morning.
16 a.m.
It's 6:16 a.m. It's 9
a.m.
16
We're all missed it.
over here. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't really need social media. Like, I like to pop on to see some of my friends and stuff, but I'm just not into it very much.
Yeah.
Like, I did it. Obviously, I live with you, so I'm around it all the time. And so it's easy to do because it's kind of a rhythm, right? But and then I got tired of that rhythm and don't want to do it right now, so I'm not.
So right now, that means that you may come back.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
The hope.
You know what? It's like when I realized, I don't like answering any of these questions except for like ones when people ask me to pray. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's a travel question, I love that. Those are my two things that I love.
Maybe you should
Anything else?
start a prayer and travel.
And you know what else I
Instagram.
really don't like? Now that we're on this, I'm
Yeah,
getting the
wow,
ball
here she
rolling.
goes.
I really hate scrolling through my DMs and like people just like giving me an emoji. Like, I don't need an emoji. Like, if you wanted to talk to me and have a conversation, then write a comment that's like a conversation starter. But
Yeah.
the meaningless, like, that's the stuff that like I just don't have time for.
Yeah.
You know, and clicking on it and like it's just scrolling and it's just not for me. So I am so sorry if I offended anybody. Thanks for all your emojis, but
No, babe, listen.
it is not for me.
That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, thanks for answering that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
How are you doing on social media?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I'm kind of over it too, to be honest with you. What's that?
I said it pays some bills.
It does pay some bills. Can I tell you when I'm a little bit over? I'm over everyone's need for me to be what they need me to be. Like
or like the overall, if you're a quote influencer, you need to check these boxes.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, like there's just a lot more of that lately. Like there's a lot more of people placing expectations on me that they're not paying me for. You know, like this isn't my
especially Instagram doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Anything,
like I'm
so.
like it's I have a platform. People have jumped on. People have we've done a lot of good things.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I had somebody the other day, you know, write something like, "I've even donated to your giving blitzes," as if I'm like, "Oh, okay, so now you're paying me."
Yeah.
Like so, this is like your payment to me. Like you do know I don't get any of that money,
Right.
But when someone said that, it just, I don't know, that kind of dug something in me that I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't work for you. I don't, you know. And so, I don't know, like I'm a little over that part of it just because I've been in a season where, you know, I haven't been talking about some of the deeper things that is going on in the news in the world because I've been dealing with my dad and my parents across the street and my daughter's getting married. My life is full.
It's true.
And so I'm going to have capacity for that again at some point, but just there's an expectation and everyone's expectation is based on what they think is important, right? So I can't be all things, all people. So I'm a little over that part.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Oh, I get it because I can't even attempt the things that you do, the conversations you have, the people and their words. It's just
Well, you know, and I do get over it sometimes, but I do love it too. I do enjoy helping people.
We have lots of relationships. Heck, we just went to Montana because of an online relationship. Like we wouldn't have known Levi and Jenny and Fresh Life if it wasn't for online, and Leanne, and there's so many people that we know because of online. So I don't diss that, but there's also balance and boundaries and
I do wonder sometimes that, you know, the question pops up in my head. I wonder when I'm just going to be done.
Yeah.
Like that I'm not going to be 80 years old and Insta storing. So like there will come a point when I just stop. And it's like, when is that day? Do
you think it would be, cause you've always, you know, people always ask, what's it like to have the camera on all the time or like everything, shared online? Do you think, it will be another platform that takes your storytelling? Because honestly, like, I know that we've shared this before, but Carlos was telling stories when we were dating. He was sending emails, like mass emails to anyone that he had his email list. It was actually, it wasn't like, really an email list. It was an email list of his friends that he would just, you know, write a story about, whether it was us getting engaged or a pregnancy or a trip. He would just write these stories. So even before there was social media, you were sharing your life. And so do you think that part will stop, or do you think that the part would stop with what it looks like in the context of right now? I just can't imagine you not telling stories.
Yeah, no, I think I'll always tell stories. And I think I'll always want people to listen to my stories.
Yeah.
You know, and so I love writing books. You know, I wonder if when and if I write a fiction book or a novel,
Yeah.
if that will in some way
Maybe. Yeah.
maybe replace this.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
I you know, like I wonder if that, because I do want to do that one day. I want to write a novel. But yeah, I don't know.
Guys, I literally have done about 10 gigantic yawns. I've tried to hide them, but if we were really filming this, it would be like those embarrassing face contorted situations.
No, Heather's
I'm tired.
contorting her face. Sohaila,
Yes.
back to you.
Back to that.
Tag. How you rented your fancy camera?
Yes. I love
How are you feeling about the photos you're getting so far in Japan?
Great. I mean, it's been one day.
I know it's been one day.
I think what I'm most excited, like I love street photography, but I also like that's not where I don't long to do that.
Yeah.
I long to take like landscape and like more cultural like photography. So when we go to where are we going?
Kyoto.
Kyoto, whatever.
Did you say Kyoto?
I said that.
Hey, how do you say thank you in Japanese?
I don't remember.
Arigato.
Arigato. Oh,
Okay, it's okay. We'll do that later. So we're going to Kyoto, and you're gonna take some photos. I'm trying to hype up your print shop, baby. Like, are you gonna sell some of these things? Are you gonna take a Mount Fuji shot out the window of the train? What's going on?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like, I'm just excited to see just the buildings and the landscapes and the trees and like everything.
I'm excited to get out into like space.
Yeah, space.
Oh, that sounded funny. I just mean like open spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, because we're in the city.
The city is just
We're in the
very
city.
Yeah.
And I actually love it because like Asia is so different from Western culture that it's like, it's just so cool to see their basically just like their architecture and like everything about looking down a street is not like it is looking down a street in Nashville or New York or anything like that.
Yep.
So I think it's like, it's just really cool to be able to capture it and be able to tell that story of this is not American. How can I tell it in the way that highlights their own culture and like trying to learn more about it too. And so I don't know. I'm excited, like Mom was saying, like to go more out of Tokyo and like see actual Japan and like what the country is also showing and all that stuff. So yeah.
We are partnering again this week with Indeed.com. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors. That is mind-blowing. So listen, ditch the busy work, stop going to all those websites and use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging all of your potential hires so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality candidates compared to other job sites. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it gets you to the quality candidates quickly. The next time I hire, I am definitely going straight through Indeed, and I think that you should as well. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/humanhope. Just go to Indeed.com/humanhope right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/humanhope. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Listen, when I was looking to start selling, there were so many options online. Where am I going to sell my shirts? Where am I going to make my shirts? What am I going to do? And finally, my daughter, who was running my merch site, said, you need to use Shopify. And I'm so glad that I did. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, literally from the launch your online shopping stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to did we just hit 1 million orders stage? That's right. Shopify is there to help you grow. So whether you're selling like scented soap or I don't know, brand new razors, whatever it is, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify has you covered. Listen to this. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/humanhope. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/humanhope now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/humanhope.
Hey, so
Yes, Mommy.
what was your favorite part of today?
Whoa.
This is a great question.
No,
No,
I
you don't want
had the
this?
question that's going to end the podcast.
Okay.
What?
What are 2 things that
Are we
surprised
ending
you?
the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fast.
Well, I'm trying to keep I think I'm trying to keep him to like 30 minutes
Okay.
these days. Is that okay if we just do
You're
30
in
minutes?
charge.
That's a great idea, Dad.
Okay, I mean, I don't want people to like, this one does feel like it could go longer, but we're going to end it. What are 2 things, both of you, myself included, that surprised you about Tokyo? Okay, two things that surprised
steal
you. 2,
yours.
it can't be 1, it has to be 2.
I already know yours, but I'm going to steal it.
You better not.
So the trains are absolutely quiet.
You would never have said that had I not said that and Instagrammed it.
It's true. But
You stole it.
I do like, I've gone to, it feels like every subway or tube or any train station in a city, and everyone talks at some point. Like in Paris, everyone was talking or chatting or laughing or, either just hiding to themselves or whatever. And then, New York, I don't have to explain that. But here we walk in, it's like you could drop
Yes.
something and the whole train just like echoes.
It's
For
definitely
instance-
a cultural thing.
Oh, it
For
is.
sure.
There's
Yeah.
no way it's not. But that was really fascinating to me at first. 'Cause
Trains are
it's
quiet.
like, it's a whole other culture of like respecting people's ears, basically. Like, let them have their quiet. Don't be obnoxious and loud. And so
Yeah.
it's been, interesting for us Americans who are easily loud to
I have a hard time being loud, so I've been really
well, me and
trying
Dad.
to hold in my laugh and everything.
Even like right now, like I think we're being way too loud for this little Airbnb.
But it's like we talk so much and we're so loud that it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Pretty loud family. Okay, what's number 2?
number two.
Heather, what's 1?
ask one.
You come back.
what was the question? What surprised
2
me?
things that surprised you about Tokyo or Japan, or we've only been here a day, but
Yeah, we've only been here a day.
so Halo was talking that entire time and you weren't even thinking?
I was looking at our pictures from today. Hold on, let me think.
Oh
about
goodness.
this. Sorry.
Okay, so she's thinking, I'm going to tell you mine. Gosh. Okay, number 1. So Halo took my first one, so I'm going to have to do another one. I'm not a sushi guy. Like I just never have been. And I mean, I've had like sushi or sashimi at very nice, fancy sushi places that I was like, oh, that wasn't bad. Like I could do that. That wasn't bad. What I had tonight at this sushi restaurant, and it was a gluten-free sushi restaurant where they can make it gluten-free. It was the tuna belly.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, that might be one of the greatest things I've ever put in my mouth.
I didn't get to have it because I can't eat tuna right
You can't. It like melted. It's like I was eating just a stick of butter on some rice. Like it was.
You know what I had that I've never had that was a stick of butter?
What?
I don't even know the name of the fish, but it's the fish that has like the little antenna that's like a light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The lamp
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah, the lampfish. I had its liver.
Yes, I had it too, and I almost gagged.
It was
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, you're like, you need
It
to
was
try
like
this.
butter.
It
But
was
when
so
I bit it,
good.
it was the wrong consistency.
Well,
And I was like, oh my God, this is a fish.
I don't eat liver all the time.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really know
Okay,
what
so
it was gonna taste like.
tagging off that.
Well, hold
Wow.
on. I did, so
Other way?
what surprised me is how good sushi is.
Okay.
That's what I'm very surprised about. And I know people say that, but for a non-sushi guy to be like, I could eat that every single day. That's surprising. Okay, now you get to go.
So we went to this one place because we, Sohaila and I are on the 6-month journey of fixing some health issues. And so we are not eating gluten right now at all. And so soy sauce is made up typically with gluten. And so we found a place that has soy sauce gluten-free, which is why we went to this place. But the thing that surprised me is in doing my research, how Japanese people do not have any gluten intolerances. They don't have any soy problems.
Right, they don't.
They,
So
like their
fascinating.
allergens, like celiac disease, it's not
It's
even
non-existent.
covered. It's not even covered on insurance because it's so non-existent. And so like just that, it blows my mind because of where Americans are
Why is
at.
that?
You know what? I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, they don't eat organic or they don't eat, like whatever. Japanese, they use pesticides, they use, a lot of things. I think it's a combination of a million different things that I would love to have. What would that be? Like a sociology data report
Sure,
to
yeah.
kind of learn like the different things. I don't know. I mean, it's environment, it's stress level, it's a million different things that can happen, but that's just really fascinating that's not even, they literally eat, like Sohaila and I are trying to have food. She can't have soy and we both can't have gluten, and it's nearly
I would not recommend
impossible.
coming to Tokyo if you
It's
can't.
You're
nearly,
on this elimination
nearly
diet.
impossible
It's horrible.
to eat here. And so we're doing our very best, but
You guys are doing great.
Thank you, Dad.
it's
I mean,
hard.
I'm eating everything. So,
Oh, it's true.
But so that was
that's
just
surprising.
really surprising and interesting.
That's good. That's a good
And then
surprise.
I think my second one is just the people. There is everyone has some sort of black on,
Yeah.
and of course everyone's hair is black. So there is just this thread of black, which is it's just surprising. It's just kind of funny. And then everyone is just dressed. It's not as fashion forward
As
that I
maybe Seoul.
thought as Seoul was.
Right.
Yeah. So I really thought
Yeah.
it was, I literally, when
I've seen like
when we
3
went to
people that I'm
Seoul,
like, whoa, you're
every
really
single
cool.
person was decked out.
Really?
Yeah. And we felt so like embarrassed almost.
I would say that.
And I would say that 20% of the people walking are like
are still like decked
looking
out,
nice,
looking amazing.
but not 80% like
Yeah.
in Seoul. So that was a little interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just interesting to see the different shifts.
Japan's a
and
little bit more laid back.
Yeah.
They're not so uptight.
they got the
with their-
island vibes.
Yeah, they do. They got that. We did pass a house today that was a Minnie's hula studio.
Yeah, there
So
was.
that's good. Okay, so Haley, your second thing.
I would have to say my second thing would be I didn't know 7-Eleven was so popular in Japan.
Do they have Slurpees in there?
I don't know.
That's a good
But I
question.
didn't like,
Oh man,
I never would have thought, because like 7-Eleven for us is like, oh my gosh, Slurpees. Like,
That's all that
we could
it's for.
always get them, in the States. I've never
Maybe a
really
tank of
seen
gas.
them. Exactly. I've never really seen them outside of America. So I didn't really like expect them in
They're everywhere.
Tokyo. And it's like every turn
Every
you
other block.
go. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So I think that's just kind of been like,
Yeah.
this is weird, but okay. Like, here we go.
You know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen one McDonald's.
I
Have you?
haven't
yeah, I saw
either.
one.
You did?
It was over by Zara today.
I did not see
It
one.
was, and there was a Burger
McDonald's.
King across the street.
I saw Kentucky Fried Chicken, which makes me laugh because we live in
Kentucky Fried Chicken is what everyone here eats for Christmas.
That's so bizarre.
Isn't that crazy?
So bizarre.
They have like all these ads that run. It's like a big thing. Colonel Sanders and
Actually quite funny.
Tokyo.
Thanks for letting us ramble here.
Yeah.
This is
Oh no,
the
this is
real
good. This is
wits.
good. This is
been a
actually this is
ramble.
the content that I wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really anything.
I have one more. Actually, it was a lot of things for people that want to come to Japan. This is really good. I have one more thing that surprised me.
Oh yeah.
It was an app that I didn't know about.
Oh yeah.
So I guess this isn't necessarily surprising about Japan, except for when we were I was trying to talk to a young Japanese man, and I only know 3 words. So he pulled out his little phone and started talking into it, and then it typed out what he was saying in English. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait a second. My app does that too. But my app is called Papago. And I found it from some YouTuber. But watch this. I can translate from English to Japanese, and I can hand it to the person you're talking to. Watch this. So I'm gonna go, my big toe hurts. Can you please cut it off?
Oh my gosh.
足の親指が痛いので切ってください。
And there it is. And so a dude would pull out his knife and chop off my toe.
Do you think you could have said another thing?
No, I mean, I
That
don't
was
know.
kind of weird.
It really was.
It's fine. It's weird. Okay. Well, Sohaila, thanks for sharing about your wedding.
So hey, look, can we talk about what was your favorite thing
Yeah.
about
I
today?
totally skipped this.
I know I asked that question, and then
So-
you were like, "Oh no."
Oh, okay.
My
Fine.
favorite thing in the whole entire world that made me cry my eyes out.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't expect it. We went to a picnic cafe, aka a cafe with pigs.
Yes.
Miniature pigs running around.
Like a coffee shop with
Yes.
pigs.
And one of my favorite animals are pigs. I have a pig stuffed animal that I've had since I was born, and I just love them. And honestly, I didn't expect how cute they were going to be and how perfectly small and pig-like they were going to be until
And
they
they
were
like
in
cuddled
your
with
lap.
you, and they like,
jumped up and they just wanted to be pet and loved, and it was
oh my gosh, it was
I'm
so
so glad
cute.
that you love that baby. It was maybe one of my top 5 most miserable moments of the week.
That's
You're
how you
so
know you
dramatic.
love-
Only
Only
because you had to
because-
sit on the ground.
Listen, I had to sit on the ground. I'm not flexible. Listen, I had to sit in a chair when I was in kindergarten because I couldn't sit crisscross applesauce because my hip flexors are so tight. And then these are farm animals that are like crawling around on you.
not.
Yeah.
They're
And they're peeing
clean.
everywhere.
No, they're
They did not. Oh my
And
gosh,
there's
you're
poop.
so.
It's just
There
They
was no
peed in their
poop.
little litter box.
There
They
was no
literally
poop,
were
and they
trained.
walked away
Okay.
and went and peed in the
Heather,
litter
what was your
box.
favorite part today?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
Was when we were at the Christmas. We went to like some Christmas thing. It was very.
It was not Christmas.
It was so not Christmas.
Yeah.
That they started to play "Sweet Home Alabama."
They did. The Japanese band.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite part.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, "Sweet Home Alabama," and at the Christmas bazaar.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. My favorite part of it wasn't today, it was last night, where you guys went to the grocery store to find food because you couldn't eat where I was eating. And then I dropped in at this like kind of ramen place down this alley. And so I walked in, older Japanese kind of cook in the back kind of was telling me to sit down somewhere and do something. I stumbled my way through ordering and eating. And then at the end, I've been practicing saying thank you. And I've just been practicing it over and over and over. And so like, I'm whispering it to myself. And finally, when it's time, I stand up and I say, let me see if I can get this right.
You better.
Arigato gozaimasu is what I said. And he goes, ah, and he starts high-fiving the other guy, and they were laughing and waving at me and bowing. And they were so pumped that I spoke in Japanese. And so, I mean, I just think, listen, if I'm here, I'm going to try to speak the language as much as I can, which isn't going to be a lot, but as much as I can. And so I'm learning a couple things. And that was probably my favorite part, was the reaction of this older man in there. All right. Well,
Cute.
we did it, guys. You actually made it last longer, Heather. It actually lasted 40 minutes, our conversation. So with the ads, this may be an hour. Guys, I was trying to do a 30-minute episode.
Wow.
Who knows? Hopefully I don't have 20 minutes of ads. If I do, I apologize. All right, guys. So this is it. Hey, Sohaila, Heather, say goodbye to the Human Hope family.
Goodbye.
Hey, say, we'll see you next week on another episode of Human Hope.
We'll see you next week on another episode of Human Hope.
See ya.
Bye.